chaos had struck the city of Inexoria. The sky-high tower of Moros, which often appeared to extend all the way up into the lower reaches of space, had collapsed into a pile of rubble. Most of its massive appearance had been illusory. The tower itself had been somewhere in the depths of space, not on physical worlds such as Grief. Thus, the rubble that remained of the tower seemed comically minuscule compared to the landmark that once dominated the sky, and which the city of Inexoria had literally been built around. When the tower fell, 4 individuals appeared in the courtyard between the tower and the path into Inexoria proper. That path was heavily guarded by the tacksmen of Inexoria, who were eager to get a share of the loot obtained by adventurers who had survived the trials of the Tower of Moros, but none of them were remotely equipped to deal with the party that had appeared. Sure, 2 of the party members were cute little kittens, but one radiated the unmistakable power of a 6th-tier beast sovereign, a threat capable of leveling cities and terrorizing whole worlds, while the other kitten radiated the power of a 5th tier. In comparison, the strongest cultivator in the city of Inexoria was high climber Torain, himself a 5th-tier cultivator. And that was just the kittens. The 2 women were worse, each of whom were inhuman 6th-tier cultivators.
"State your names, and stand down until the high climber arrives, please."
The guard tried to project an aura of confidence, but a 3rd-tier cultivator making demands of a party of 3 6th tiers and a 5th tier wasn't likely to be well received, and his attempt at confidence failed completely. Instead, the man sounded like he was begging.
"Why do you need to know our names when we're to wait for your precious high climber?"
Kalos Metanoia asked with confusion, not understanding the logic of the guard. Kalos stood taller than the averagely tall guard, clad in a black armored dress with purple accents, with blonde hair, golden eyes that shone with inner light, a large witch's hat, and a cloak made of ominous black and white chains. Kalos probably looked intimidating. She was 188 centimeters tall before you added a few more for the heels of her armored knee-high boots. Then there were the tattoos that crawled along the skin of her limbs, visible on the glimpses of skin of her calves and forearms. Spiritual tattoos of chains slithered across her ivory skin as if they were serpents, ready to strike out with a witch's slightest whim. Kalos radiated an imperious aura of mystery, beauty, and untouchable grace. As a Nephilim, she bore a heritage and bloodline that far exceeded that of an ordinary human, or even that of most half-blood humans. She was the daughter of Belial, after all. She had it all: looks, intelligence, power, empathy for the suffering. Telos loved Kalos more than anything. Telos Metanoia, the woman who stood next to Kalos, was the same height, although thanks to being a shapeshifter, Telos could appear as any height, or as anything or anyone she wanted to. Literally, wine bottles or other inanimate objects, animals or monsters. Telos knew few limitations in this life. Once she had been a human woman on Earth named Escalampy, who was then resurrected as Ethereal, a name she used until her ascension to the 6th tier, when she chose a new first name to match who she had become, and the last name to match with her wife, partner, lover, significant other, or whatever else one wanted to label Kalos.